Morning.
Morning. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in trial. Oh, hey, Mr. Taft, tell the bailiff to get Mr. Bozeman back in the court, in the room.
Yes, sir.
All right.
We need Mr. Baldwin back.
Mr. Bozeman.
He's going to get him. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Bozeman, because your case is an indecent assault case, I have to read to you the model written admonition on ineligibility to possess a firearm ammunition. So in accordance with the Texas Administrative Code section 176.1, the court hereby admonishes you or warns you of the following. Number one, you are by entry of order of judgment ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm ammunition. Number two, beginning now, if you possess a firearm ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about how long you will be ineligible to possess a firearm ammunition, you should consult an attorney. Number three, under Texas Penal Code section 46.013A, firearms mean any device designed, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using energy generated by an explosion or burning substance, or any device readily convertible to that use. B, firearm does not include a firearm that may have as an integral part a folding knife, blade, or other characteristics of weapons made illegal by Penal Code Chapter 46, and that is one, an antique or carry-over firearm manufactured before 1899, or two, a replica of an antique or carry-over firearm manufactured before 1899, but only if the replica does not use rimfire or centerfire ammunition. The statutes listed below are starting point for ineligibility to possess a firearm ammunition. For more information about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm ammunition, or for more information on how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm ammunition lasts, the court recommends you contact an attorney. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.292, Magistrate's Orders for Emergency Protection. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 42.0131, Notice for persons convicted of misdemeanors involving family violence. Penal Code Section 46.02, unlawful carrying weapons. Penal Code Section 46.04, unlawful possession of firearm. Penal Code Section 25.07, violation of certain court orders or conditions of bond in a family violence, child abuse or neglect, sexual assault or abuse, indecent assault, stalking, or trafficking case. Family Code Section 85.026, warning on protective orders. Now, Mr. Bozeman, you should get a copy of this admonition at the jail for your records. This will conclude your case. Please follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Christopher Taft?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is cause number 333944. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Christopher Wayne Taft. Mr. Taft, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Taft, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Taft, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Taft, you may put your hand down. And again, Mr. Taft, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. Mr. Taft, you are represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Giles Cole. Attorney Cole, do you waive a record in Mr. Taft's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Taft, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information alleges that on or about October 26th of 2022, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Mr. Taft, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty?
sir.
And are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Taft, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Mr. Taft, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of this same document, Mr. Taft, there are a set of initials CT that are on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Mr. Taft, did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Taft, on page 3 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Taft, is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, Mr. Taft, this document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Mr. Taft, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Taft, is this your signature above the line that is titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, Mr. Taft, there are two boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And the second box states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Taft, did you sign a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Taft, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I have just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. Cole, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Cole went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Taft, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, I am.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1 to misdemeanor plea admonishment?
Yes, Your Honor. State offer States 1.
Any objections? Mr.
No
Cole?
objections.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Cole, you have advised and counsel Mr. Taft. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Taft, your attorney, Mr. Cole, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir, I am.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Mr. Taft, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, in exchange for the defendant's plea of guilty in this case, the state is recommending confinement in the Jefferson County Jail for a period of 17 days, Your Honor. We're asking that the defendant be given credit for the 17 days he has already spent in jail, making this a time-served plea agreement, Your Honor. And lastly, we're asking that the court use the time served to both tax and retire the court costs in this case.
Mr. Taft, the state is offering that you serve 17 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 17 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you will be given credit for the time that you have already served. The court cost in this case, Mr. Taft, is $327, but you will not be required to pay the $327 court cost because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Taft, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Taft, I will follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Taft, if you do not have anything else holding you in jail today, you should be getting out. Please knock on the door, follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too, sir.
You
All
are.
right, Mr. Holmes.
All right, boss. Have a good one.
All right, thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Next case is Kevin Peterson.
Peterson.
Court is in session and calls number 333, 996. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Kevin Michael Peterson. Mr. Peterson is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Peterson, is that your full name, Kevin Michael Peterson?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Peterson, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Peterson, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Peterson, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Peterson?
Good.
That's good. Now, Mr. Peterson, you're represented in your case by Attorney Giles Cole. Attorney Cole, do you waive a record in Mr. Peterson's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Peterson, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that on or about June 29th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of possession of a controlled substance. Mr. Peterson, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Peterson, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no
Guilty.
contest? Guilty? Now, Mr. Peterson, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
I'm guilty.
Mr. Peterson, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Peterson, there are a set of initials, sets of initials on or signature on a line that's next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials or signatures on this document?
Yes, sir.
Also, on page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Did you sign this document?
Yes, I did.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Absolutely.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
And did you sign a document, Mr. Peterson, on paper that is titled Discovery Certification?
I did.
Now, Mr. Peterson, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. Cole, go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Cole went over?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Mr. Peterson, are you a citizen of the United States?
I am.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1?
Yes, Your Honor. State offer states 1.
No objections.
No objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Peterson, well, Mr. Cole, you've advised and counseled Mr. Peterson. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Peterson, your attorney, Mr. Cole, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Say it again, I'm sorry.
Has he provided full, effective, and
Yes, sir.
competent legal representation? Now,
Absolutely.
Mr. Peterson, well, Mr. Peterson, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, in exchange for the defendant's plea of guilty in this case, the state is recommending confinement in the Jefferson County Jail for a period of 17 days, Your Honor. We're asking that the defendant be given credit for the 17 days he has already spent in jail, making this a time-served plea agreement, Your Honor. And lastly, we're asking that the court use the time served to both tax and retire the court costs.
Mr. Peterson, the state is offering that you serve 17 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you have already served 17 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you've already spent in jail. The court cost in this case, Mr. Peterson, is $327, but you will not have to pay the court cost because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court cost will be taxed and retired. Mr. Peterson, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Absolutely.
And do you accept the state's offer?
I do.
Mr. Peterson, I will accept the plea in this case. I will follow the plea bargain agreement in this case. Now, Mr. Peterson, if you do not have anything else holding you in jail today, you should be getting out.
Today?
Yeah, you'll be getting out of jail today. So please knock on that door and follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day.
God bless y'all.
Thank you. God bless you as well. Malcolm Jamal Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Oh, let me do this here. Mr.